expected, we always have exciting panelists throughout our discussion. And today is not an exception. So we have some lovely people around, and I would like them to introduce themselves to you. So we are going to go by your name first, your marital status, which is very, very important, and also your profession. So I'll start from my right. So, gentlemen, you give us your name, your marital status, and then your profession.
Okay, thank you. I'm Godwin. I'm a PD, AK for short. I'm a teacher, professional, and of course, I'm a sound engineer, side gig.
So,
Okay.
did you really mention your status, your marital status, or you didn't? Are you single or married?
I'm single.
All right, okay. A
Okay.
beautiful lady.
Okay. I'm Asunzaya Kumbelu. I'm a married woman. Then I'm a teacher by profession. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Sarafina Opoku. I'm single and I'm an entrepreneur and a teacher and also a student.
All right. I go by the name Erica Cowley. I'm a photo shoot model, a fashion designer, a teacher, and a student as well. And then I'm single.
Photographer.
All right, I'm Idris Adi Suleiman, a teacher by profession and also an entrepreneur.
All right, so myself, your host, my name is Fiabo Teresa Makafu, a teacher by profession. And then also, I have a little artwork that I do on my own and some other side jobs, which we'll be getting into when the right time comes. All right, so quickly, let's move on to what we are here for today. I would like to welcome you once again to UpClose program. This program is directed at the youth, specifically the younger ones who are still in education and trying to find their path throughout life. So, we are here today to discuss topics on education, health, as well as entrepreneurship, and also I think we also have something to do with relationship. So we are going to quickly talk about those things briefly. I would ask for your opinions, and then you share with us what you think about them. So to begin with, since you are all teachers, the educational system in our country, Ghana, we've been hearing people talk about it here and there on TVs, on radios, and all that. Since you are already in the profession, I would like to know your opinions on what you are hearing about our educational system. Do you think it is working as expected? And tell us why. So we are going to share the failures, the success, and what you think we should do to move it in a better direction. So I don't know where to start from, but okay, so I can start from my right as well once again. Then when we get to other topics, we move to the left hand side. So our educational system, is everything working? As a teacher, from your perspective as a teacher.
Thank you. With the current trend of education now, to me, I feel um, everything is not in order. In this sense that, um, you need tools to be able to do something effectively. And per the curriculum you have now, it dwells mostly on the child doing more, using their ideas that they have attained to be able to create new things. But correlating that with what the curriculum is trying to say, the curriculum didn't come with the rightful materials that a child would have to use to concretize a concept. It's just vague like that. You should do this. The teacher should help the child click, type, use the keyboard. Once we don't have those materials in our settings, in our schools. So to me as a person, it's not helping. It's not helping in the sense that it's making it difficult for the teacher in the classroom to be able to implement the curriculum.
All right. So you are basically talking about teaching and learning resources. So it means that they did not come with the curriculum did not come with these things, and hence your work is becoming very difficult. Okay. Is that if
Yeah,
I'm getting
yes,
you right? Is
exactly.
that what you're
Yes.
saying? Is there anyone who also shares in this opinion, or you have another point that we can move on to? I would come back to that aspect because there have always been arguments that the teacher should be able to provide this teaching and learning materials in the classroom for teaching and learning to be going on. So if the government did not provide it, what are the teachers doing about it? Is there any allowance in place for that? Does the district level or regional levels of education and all that, do they make provisions for that? Who is supposed to fund these particular resources? So we'll come to that. Is there anyone who shares in his view?
I side with him.
Okay.
With the inadequate CLMs, the resources, and all. Yes, it's a problem. Ghana itself is a developing country,
Okay.
can say, but our curriculum is set for some overdeveloped standard. It's like the curriculum was set for a country that is already developed. We don't have materials, we don't have resources, yet we are expected to, do what we are supposed to do even without the resources, which is not real. It's not logic. In the case of inadequate resources, as my brother said, for instance, me in the a rural area, there are certain things in the new curriculum I'm expected to teach, but I don't have those resources to teach them. But the government is expecting that by the end of their basic level, they would write the same examinations with those in the urban areas, which is unfair. But what can we do? And then you talked about if government is not doing it, what are the teachers doing about it? Our salaries. I would always stand everywhere and complain about our salaries. It's woefully inadequate. Our salaries are not even enough for us, and then we would use those salaries. Some are trying.
Okay.
Some of us are trying to use the little we can to purchase those resources and all. But how many teachers can do that? You understand? Huh. So yes, with the TLMs and all, Ghana is not keeping up
The
to us.
standards.
Yes.
We'll come back to the salary aspect of it because I think it's an open discussion. Everyone is talking about it, especially the African countries. It's not only limited to Ghana alone. Some are doing very well, but others are not doing so well. So we'll come back to the salary, the issue of the salary. So I would come to you. Is there any concern? Is the teaching working for you? I mean, the educational system, is it working for you or it is not?
So actually, it's a profession that when you are in it and then you put your all in it, at the end of the day, you find happiness in it. So it's working for me. It's okay.
It's okay.
With my status and then with the teaching work, I think it's okay for me.
Okay.
I'll get time for my family. So it's okay.
Okay. So aside the personal comfortability with it, how about the education system generally? How things are going, the assessment, mode of assessment, the teaching going on in classrooms and all that. Is it going as it was? I believe you just didn't complete SHS
No.
recently. Some of you might have been part of the SSC and then and all that. So share your experience with us. Back in those days, how was it like when you look at the current education and the crop of students and teachers we have? Can you say that this new system of education is better than the previous ones that we've had?
Actually, on my side, this system of education, I don't even know the word to use to describe it.
Okay.
Because during our days, the students themselves were putting on effort to what? Learn.
Okay.
But nowadays, the kids, I don't know, even though there's modern technology, they have phones to their disposal, then internet everywhere. But the manner in which they learn is very, I don't know the word to use.
Sad.
It's very sad. Those days we were learning. We used to sit on our buttocks to learn. Those days we didn't even have lights.
Okay.
You have to go for a lantern to
Yeah,
learn.
I
But
remember. What's the name of that lantern? The one with the rag.
Is it Bobo?
And then
Bobo.
Yeah.
Bobo. You call it Bobo. We
Yeah.
call it Gomekadi.
Gumakadi.
Yes, we call it Gomekadi.
Yeah.
In
It
Ewe.
comes with
Yeah.
some films.
that you have to
And the scent alone.
the
Hey.
scent alone, yeah. But now they have lights and the kids are not even making in I don't know.
Okay, so
And
you
the
are
funny,
talking
the
about.
funny side is, sometimes your mom would have to ask you to off it because the kerosene would be
Yes.
used.
For food the
It's
next
actually
day.
purchased for the week.
Thank
Yes.
you.
The
And
following day.
here we are with light and all that. So I think you are talking in terms of Discipline.
Discipline, yeah. There's no
Discipline.
discipline.
Okay, so the academic discipline is not there. It's okay. So we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. All right. So let's hear from
To
you,
add
madam.
to what my colleagues have said, I think the inculcation of politics into the educational system is really distorting things.
Okay.
Because today, this government will come. I decided to take this thing out of education. Right now, our students are not going to write BEC again. And the next government who will come might say that I've also decided to bring the BEC back. And these things are not helping. I remember I was teaching and then I told my kids to learn this, and they said we would not be writing BEC,
Yes,
so there's
so
no need for me to do
Seriously.
it. So this
Wow.
is really affecting the
You're not
studies of
lying.
our students. And I think the government, they should at least pull themselves out of education for the people who are supposed to be doing this to do their job. I think that will also help.
And I
Yeah.
also think that reintroduction of caning system too is good
Exactly.
because nowadays
That
the
comes to
kids,
Come back.
discipline.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
discipline. Because if they do anything, they think that you can't cane them. Why do you have to wake up early, shower, come for roll call and others? Because there is no caning. So since there is no caning, I have to come to school anytime. Anytime I want, I can come to school, no punishment. So taking out the caning is actually turning the youth into different thing else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
They
also,
think they are at bar with the teachers because after all, what kind of punishment can you give to me? And it's really disturbing.
talking about the politics, our leaders in the Ghana Education Service are being appointed by political leaders. And this is not helping because you can't bring someone outside the educational system or someone that's not an educationist to come and govern an educational system. So I
Exactly.
think with that, the interference of politics or the interference of the current government or all governments is affecting the educational system. Because when you bring someone who has not taught for a lot of years or who is not a beginner to come and take over the GES, the person has not gone to the rural area to teach to see whatever that is happening there. The person just finished university and had the opportunity to teach in an urban area. And at the end of the day, you bring him as a what? A minister of education or even the DG
No
of
respect for
education. Yeah.
teachers.
So I think that too is affected there.
I would like to ask you questions.
Yeah.
There are questions pertaining to the issues you've raised. I understand that I think you did something on curriculum studies some time back as teachers. So when you look at the stakeholders of the curriculum that we are talking about, it includes politics, politics which has to do with the government, not as in MPP, NDC, CPP, and all that. Politics which has to do with government. Don't you think that you want us to take out politics? And government can never go without politics. Politics is government, and government is politics. So we cannot take the politic factor out of education. But I think there is something that we can do to channel whatever you are saying into the right direction, because the government is the one who provides these things that we need to ensure that education is running in our country. So when you talk about politics, how do you want them to do it? Is it a case where you'd want the educational system to stand on its own, or you want us to take it out of I don't know how to even put it, because politics is government, government is politics. So how do you want it to be done?
At least their participation should be minimal. If we
Okay.
cannot completely take them out, they should minimize the way they interfere with
What are
education.
some of the interferences that you think are alarming in the educational system? I'm
This
not saying
introduction of
Mhm.
a double track system, now it's going away, but it has really has had a great effect. There was no cutoff point for BEC students,
Okay.
and so they think that even if I get as high as
See,
15, I will
see,
still get a school. Because of this, we are producing chaps, excuse me to say, we are producing chaps into our system nowadays. And I think if they kind of restrict themselves a little, and then they allow the education system to run on its own, it will really help.
Don't you think that someone will also sit somewhere and say the teachers are not doing enough? That is how come we are bringing, how do you call it? That's how come we are bringing out chavs. What do you think is what do you think is the problem with the issue of the chav? Is it that because there is no cut-off point, the students have refused to learn, or it is a case where the teachers are not doing that much to help the students to, learn?
Okay, so I would blame it on this bribery and corruption at the top.
Okay.
Because imagine a parent bringing the word that my child had 42 and I want my child to get a grade A school.
Okay.
And then, like, if you were to say no, and then your no is no, it's going to work for those who did well in the BEC and all. But you see, familiarity and then the whole bribery issue. Those who are not deserving of it are the ones who are getting the opportunity to enter the school, and those who are indeed studying hard, or let me say, indeed working hard, they are the ones who are being restricted of all those benefits.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, those who went in with the bribes, with the familiarity and all, they end up being chaffs, like my sister
Okay.
said. And then those who were supposed to be given the opportunity to, move forward, their education is cut off short because they didn't know anyone or because no one actually knows them. So it's familiarity, bribery, corruption, and all.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your opinions on the topic education. So, viewers, if you're watching, this is up close on campus, and we are discussing issues that affect young people. We just finished discussing issues on education, which is the exact field of all my panelists.